Hello YouTubers, I am going to do a slight test in this video. I'm using my Panasonic DC-1, and in my last video I was telling you about how I was having trouble with the audio because there's a sort of hiss in the background which is really can get a bit annoying. So after putting up my last video, mp4podcast.com, he sent me a link to how to get rid of the background hiss. Now there were a couple of videos that I saw. Basically there's a VST that you can get for Sony Vegas which is called Floorfish. I'll put a link to the website in the description, and there's also a way of doing it in Audacity. For the next section of this video I am going to be quiet, then I'm going to do a bit of speaking so that we can test out the two different ways of getting rid of the hiss in the background. The first section will be left as is, then the next section will be the Floorfish, and then the next section will be the Audacity, and then at the end of it I'll go back to using just the Panasonic. So I'll be quiet so that I can get a section of the hiss so that you can hear what I'm talking about. Okay then. Okay, so this is the Floorfish section. I think personally the Floorfish does a better job than Audacity. The problem with Audacity is it does get rid of the hiss, but it seems to put a funny sort of robotic type echo in the background, which I sort of didn't really like, to be honest. But the Floorfish seems to do a better job. Now the Floorfish I think is going to be a little bit quieter than the Audacity, but we'll have to wait and see. So that's the Floorfish section done. Now let's see how Audacity does. Now you're probably wondering why there's about 5 or 6 seconds worth of quietness in between each sample. The reason that is that for Audacity you've got to take a sample of the background hiss so that you can then remove it when you're speaking. So that's why I've put a sort of little section where I've just been quiet so that I can do that for each bit. I don't think you need to do it for the Floorfish VST, but you certainly do need to do it for the Audacity one. Now I have found another program which does more or less the same as Audacity does, but it is quite expensive. So unfortunately I won't be able to use that, which is a bit of a shame. I'm not really sure if it does. I think it does a little bit better than Audacity, but again it still has this sort of funny robotic sound to it, which is a little bit annoying. So the reason I'm doing this is so that you guys can hear what's going on, and so that you can sort of point me in the right direction. So this is the Audacity section finished. Okay, so now we're back to the normal. Generally speaking, I really do like this camera because of the quality of the picture, but also because of the flip out screen. I think that is really, really good. Now the problem with Audacity is you've got to save the audio while you're in Sony Vegas, export it as a WAV or MP3 file, then put it on Audacity, change it in Audacity, and then export it out of Audacity back into Sony Vegas when you've finished doing what you've got to do. Now for me that adds a lot, well, it adds more time onto my editing, whereas the Floorfish, it's just a case of pressing a few buttons within Sony Vegas, which obviously is a lot easier than having to drag it all out, save it, resave it, render it, re-render it, and all that sort of stuff. But then that's just me. I think if the audio is good enough, then it's well worth doing that extra bit. Please tell me what you think is the best section. I think it's going to be Floorfish, to be honest, but it will be interesting to see what you guys think. If there are any other VSTs out there which are free, or any other programs which are free which will help me with the background noise, then if you guys can let me know, I will muchly appreciate it, because I really want to continue to use the Panasonic as my weight loss vlog camera, but at the moment having the problem with the hiss is meaning that I'm gonna sort of maybe have to go back to using the Kodak PlayTouch. So I would really appreciate it if you guys could sort of give us some help, and I thank you so much for all your comments and help on the previous video. Okay, that's enough from me. Hope you're having a good day, and I'll do some more later on. Bye bye for now.